Good morning and welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Proud to be here with you every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're coming to you all across the country and the world. We appreciate you being with us on all of our awesome channels on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. Once the shows go live, you can join us in the archives on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podvine, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Boomplay, Podchaser, and more. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. With that being said, inside of MonPawsPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', we have every other Tuesday our bi-monthly segment featuring the champ herself, Miss Christy Salters-Martin. Here in Christy's Corner, where we have the opportunity to speak with the International Boxing Hall of Famer, as well as boxing photographer Pat Orr, and special guests throughout the year. I am very, very excited this morning that we have the wonderful chance to sit down here and join you. And like it is on Wake Up Call all the time, we always talk about wanting you to feel like you're sitting on a couch talking with us, that we're not talking at you. You're just sitting there hanging out with us as well. And today we have very special guest Aaron Sloan of the Engine Room Boxing Gym, the owner, as well as Engine Room VR, in connection to Golden Gloves VR, which we've been talking about for a long time here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. They'll be joining us momentarily, and in hour number 2 at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be joined by UTSA, that's University of Texas San Antonio VP for Intercollegiate Athletics, Lisa Campos, who will be joining me in continuation of my American Athletic Conference series, A New Era, where we welcome in the 6 schools officially joining as full members of the American Athletic Conference. And then we'll jump into the Ingredients to Success, proudly presented by Avicolli's on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. So, with all of that being said, it is my honor and my privilege to welcome to the broadcast Christy, as well as Aaron and Pat. Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Good morning.
So, Christy, I'm going to let you jump this thing off. I mean, Aaron, we've spoken about Aaron for a while. We've spoken about this, world of virtual reality and Golden Gloves VR. I know it's something that's become very important to you and that you're a big part of. So I would love for you to bring us into this and how you met Aaron, too. I'd love to share with everybody the story of bringing this all together.
You know what, Dan? Boxing is such a small world, and it's just one of those instances where I knew somebody, that Aaron knew somebody, and then they put us together. And so we went up to Tulsa and made an appearance at one of the Golden Glove tournaments, and at the same time, Aaron brought me into this awesome game, this virtual reality stuff. It's kind of scary when you're old as I am, but it is badass. So Mickey Ward and I sat down for like an hour and a half or something, and just commentated, and we watched fights, and we talked about boxing, and they were recording everything, so it's actually our voices on the game. But so I have to tell my little story. I was doing the game myself. The first time I really had it on and was just hard at it, boxing, and boom, I threw a big right hand and knocked this guy out. Start going crazy. Lisa's in the other room. She thinks I've like fallen over a table and broken my leg or something. She's coming in, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, oh my God, this game is so awesome. It is so realistic and so awesome. You have to do it. So, of course, she puts on the headset, and she didn't get a knockout like I did. But, she loved the game. She loved the game, and I'm excited. I think, with everything being virtual reality, all these gamers, this is like the perfect fit for like boxing, fitness. It can be used, and I know Aaron's going to expand on this, but with Parkinson's patients, even with domestic violence survivors, and it has nothing to do with being a fighter. It has something to do with exercise and fitness. And we all know that when we get up in the morning and we do a little exercise, we get our blood pumping, break a sweat, at least I know that I feel so much better the entire day. And through with this Golden Gloves virtual reality, anybody and everybody, there's not one group of people that can't benefit from playing the game.
Yeah, and I love that intro, and I appreciate that, and I remember that story too of you saying, you got so much into the game that here comes Lisa running into the room wondering if you're okay, did anything happen to you, and it was like, no, you're just being the boxer that you've always been. Aaron, for you, bring us into this because having you here with Engine Room Boxing and Engine Room VR and then Engine Room connecting to Golden Gloves, and just bring us into the story from your point of view and how this all came about, that Engine Room Boxing itself turns into a virtual reality piece as well, and then Golden Gloves is kind of all connected to what you're doing.
Well, first off, that story is a little bit. She's left a lot out. I got a phone call at like 7:30 in the morning on Saturday, and she's screaming and yelling in the background, and Lisa's yelling at her, and they're already talking trash on one another, wanting to rehash their fight out in virtual reality. So they're trying to get me to get the 2-player mode in as soon as possible, where they can work out their differences, I think. So
I like that. Very nice.
But yeah, it's. For me, I've been coaching boxing for about 14 years, and I've just kind of been a tech enthusiast. So I've been watching the virtual reality space, kind of waiting for it to get to a point where I thought I might be able to do, like kind of like a Peloton for boxing. Everybody wants to do fitness boxing, and it's hard to do in your home because you can't hold. You can't hang heavy bags from your ceiling in your living room. You can, but nobody wants to, or speed bag because of the noise. And so I was kind of watching it at first, looking to see maybe when I could, replicate some of the things I was doing in the real life gym and bring that to people at home in their living room. But as the technology grew and got better, I realized that once it went wireless, that we could probably not only do that, but adapt this into an esport that would actually have a fitness component related to it, which I think a lot of parents would like, because their kids are gamers and a lot of parents don't understand it and they just see them sitting on a computer all day long. But with some fitness aspect to it, I think parents can have a chance to have, guilt-free screen time, and they see their kids are getting a workout, and this is like a phenomenal workout. You will definitely break a sweat in this. And so when I started going to the multiplayer, then I started coming up with the idea of we could run this alongside our Golden Glove events. We could do some cool things where we could have qualifying tournaments and maybe do a national Golden Gloves and a national USA boxing championship, and that's what we're working on doing. And then we can just incorporate all aspects of gamers, to boxers, to anybody that wants to compete. It puts everybody where they want to be. There's about 10 million fitness boxers that identify as fitness boxers in the U.S., and there's about 52,000 competitive boxers. So, everybody wants to box, but nobody wants to get hit. So this is kind of a great solution to that, and we're trying to make it as realistic as we can, bringing people in like Christy and Mickey and others that can, lend credibility to the game and get the real-world boxing accepted, get feedback that we need from people that's been in the ring and done the sport to try to, simulate, some of the training and gameplay to the best of our ability.
And Aaron, why did you choose, when you talk about Mickey Ward and Christy Martin, why did you want them to be a part of this game?
Well, with Mickey, of course, he was always kind of I wanted to pick people to work with that I enjoy working with and that I, watched growing up and that, I had a lot of respect for from the boxing world. So selfishly, it was if I'm going to work with people, I want my job to be done. And I got a connection to Mickey, and we brought him up. We hosted National Golden Gloves in Tulsa 2 years in a row, and I brought Mickey in 1 year for a special guest, and then I had met Christy in Oklahoma City, and she was just fantastic. And we had a girl that had fought and won, and Christy came up in the ring and talked to her, and she was just so approachable and so so easy to relate to. And so I asked her the second year if she would come up for our Golden Gloves as a special guest as well, along with Mickey. So we brought them both in the second year, and then I started hitting them both up about, would you like to be commentators' voices in the game? We wasn't to the point yet where we were looking at putting in, characters, which we're going to do eventually. But I just thought their boxing knowledge and their voice would lend a lot of, credence to the game. I thought it'd be cool to have them in there. Like I said, selfishly, I wanted to, have my time to work with them and get to know them better. So it just worked out. It worked out really good, and we've had a lot of fun. And then with the gaming aspect, females have been underrepresented, and even in the other boxing games. There's a couple other boxing games that's out in VR that came out, several years ago, and they have all male characters in the game. So we're building out a female boxing career track as well. And I think a lot of games have kind of glossed over that because since there's not as many female players in gaming and in esports, they don't want to spend the money to build out female characters. Well, that becomes a self-perpetuating problem. That's why the females don't feel like they're welcome just because they're just underrepresented in gameplay. And so we wanted to go that extra step and make it open to that market as well. So, Christy landed a great addition to that goal.
And I appreciate you sharing that. And I appreciate the fact of what you're doing, to include women in this video game and just in general, for what Christy worked toward in her career to now being connected to doing that in the virtual reality world is special on Christy's side. And it's special for what you're doing, Aaron, and given an opportunity for that. Pat, what does it mean to you that one of your closest, nearest, and dearest friends has a video game where you can hear her and, have the opportunity to, down the road, get out there, see her face, go up against her? What does that mean to you?
I would never go up against Christy. That's a promise. I think that I haven't seen the game yet. I'm not a gamer, but I can't wait to see this one and see how it works. I think it sounds like a lot of fun. I think a lot of people would be interested in it, and I'm really happy that you're including the women in the game because the women are a big part of boxing. They just don't get they don't get recognized as well and not promoted as well. But maybe they're getting there.
Yeah, Christy, for you to have this connection and to have, when you think about, you never know who you're affecting and when you're affecting them and what one interaction can do. And that first impression, people talk about it all the time, the first impression meaning everything. When you hear Aaron discuss, when I said, why have Mickey, why have Christy in it? And he talks about, you being so approachable and having a young boxer come up and speak to you, and that resonated with him. Just what it means to you to know that every moment does count and that who you are essentially and how you treat people is why there's a connection to what Aaron's doing with Golden Gloves VR. It's pretty clear that who you are as a human being is why we're all here today talking.
Thanks, Dan. I just, you know me. I'm really simple. I am who I am. Coal miner's daughter, raised in West Virginia, where you're taught to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you, give appreciation, and kindness is free. So for anybody to give a little kindness to any, and you don't, what I more than anything in the past 13 years since being shot and stabbed, what I realize is that one or two very small words that come from anybody can change someone's life. I get so many messages on social media, or just like this interaction with this young female fighter. I was just me. So, you just take 2 seconds of your day. What the hell is that? It means nothing. Just give up a little bit of your time, a little bit of your heart and your soul to help somebody else or to say something positive. It's free. And that's what's wrong with our world. We don't have enough people saying, hey, because a lot of it is you're afraid to. You look nice today. That was a great jab. Whatever. There's so many positives that we can put out there. Everybody's happy, especially on social media, to jump on the bandwagon of negativity. But it's such a small group that wants to say something positive. And I am really the glasses half empty person. But when I'm out there with the people, I always try to be the glasses half full and try to be positive. And look, if I can keep making it, so can you. Even though I have my own internal fight with myself every day, to be positive and to think that I can make it. But if I can help somebody else have some strength, that's why God left me here.
Yeah, and and we appreciate that and that message that you carry through, you know, the importance of your faith, the importance of God, and the importance of trying to help out somebody else means a lot as we're here inside of Christy's Corner, proudly presented by PB&J's Lunchbox, 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. We're here with Hall of Famer Christy Salters Martin, boxing photographer Pat Orr, and our special guest today, Aaron Sloan of Engine Room Boxing, and as well as Engine Room VR. Aaron, why get started in all of this when you have your connection to the boxing world and to training and all these things that you love and this passion you have? Why jump into virtual reality? Why make this a part of your day? Essentially, why make yourself more busy?
Well, I've got a unique habit of starting a lot of fires, so. But you know, like I said, I had just kind of an interest in technology. You know, you can only do so many different careers and so many different things in your life. You can't cover everything. You can't learn everything. You just run out of time. And so, but I saw an end to be able to play with a few things that I actually enjoyed doing, and the technology thing would have been something I would have never, you know, went back and revisited a career for. You know, I used boxing and leveraged as much of my knowledge and something I liked with that to turn it into a career running the gym full time. But I saw an opportunity of this emerging market in an industry that, you know, for any other tech sector, it would have been very hard to get involved in because I wouldn't have, you know, the expertise to do that. I don't know how to program. I'm not, you know, a videographer or anything like that. So, but what I did have expertise in was boxing. I've been doing it for a long time, and you know, I figured if I brought my knowledge from boxing into this tech world, then, you know, I could create a good product and a good game. I had seen the other products that were out there, and they were fun to play, but they were not realistic and unique to what I felt like they needed to be as far as boxing was concerned. And then the equipment inside the boxing gyms and that they were using in the virtual gym was not, you know, the physics on them was not correct. You couldn't hit the speed bag, you couldn't hit the double end bag. And the kind of way I was envisioning this from the beginning was everything we do inside the brick and mortar facility, we would recreate inside the real world. And so, you know, we're looking to do full scale classes, personal training, things like that inside the headset. And to me, it made sense. I had grown the gym. We started like a little storage building facility, and we had grown it and purchased a property downtown Tulsa, 15,000 square feet. So I went through like the trials and tribulations of how hard it is to like build a brick and mortar facility and to run a business every day. And, you know, I'm getting close to 50, and you start thinking, I'm still ambitious, I still want to grow, but, you know, I'm not going to take time to go out and try to purchase and buy more brick and mortar facilities. I saw this as a scalable option to build virtual bricks and virtual facilities inside this game that would be more expandable and have a bigger reach than just trying to, you know, bring customers to the door. There's only so much you can do every day selling your hours. And so I saw it as an opportunity to scale, you know, the current business that we had as well. So there's multiple different fronts that I thought it would make a difference in. And, you know, we reached out and I got some pricing from some other developers in the industry. And they came back just a number that was unobtainable for me as far as having somebody else build it out, and then I wouldn't have anybody to maintenance it. So I decided just to start my own company, and I partnered with Full Sail University in Florida and had those guys help write job descriptions for me and, you know, find the right kind of talent I was looking for and narrow it down. And then I interviewed people and ultimately started moving programmers to Tulsa. So we've got 3 full-time programmers here now. I've got 2 artists in-house. We hire interns each summer from some of the local universities. And then I've got 2 character artists that are on contract. And so we just went that route. And, you know, Golden Gloves VR is our first title under Engine Room VR. We plan on building other products and other games. We have a few other things in the works right now that I can't discuss publicly, but we have some other, you know, fitness-type games that we're going to add as well. So it just allowed me to get in and play in a space that I felt like I had some knowledge in as far as running a business. You know, I just see it as running a different business inside virtual reality. and then, eventually evolving this into a national esport to where we can actually have a fitness esport tournament, and that's kind of the goal.
Yeah, I think it's awesome too, because I've been working a lot in the world of esports, especially here locally in central and upstate New York. Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, they added their esports program, and they're now moving forward with trying to find the right games and the right things to connect people that they're interested in. And so that would be great to think about this down the road. And Aaron, as we're talking about this here this morning, that's a potential, right? That I could call over to Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse and say, hey, why not compete in this, and see colleges and universities start to utilize that. Now, all of a sudden, Golden Gloves VR is even deeper into our community right here in central and upstate New York. So, and I think that that's how you build it, right? You talk to different esports programs, and you're doing something that I think is really incredible and important, in the sense of, when I was growing up as a kid, my mom would let me play for a little while, right? You could play Sonic, but you can't play it all day. You could play X-Men, but you can't play it all day. And if she heard me swearing, if there was Mortal Kombat on there, then I don't know if I want you playing this game. So, now, and it was go outside, play for 2 hours, go outside for 4, go outside for 5. With you putting this piece to it, where, like you said, you can only have so many people go through the door. You can only service so many people in so many hours of your time. To be able to connect with people all over the world and to give them a fitness component, now all of a sudden, the video games, sit in a lounge chair, not move your body. We're in a totally different atmosphere now, where video gaming can actually be productive and positive towards your health. And I think that that's a huge part of what is so sellable and so unique now. So I appreciate you doing that and working on that. I want to know if you can jump in a DeLorean and go back in time with me and tell my mom it's okay to play video games.
I need to go back and talk to my mom a little bit too. Of course, I wasn't a big gamer growing up. I'm still you probably are. I'm back from the NES days and the old gaming consoles.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Pac-Man. I've got an old Pac-Man machine here, actually. So, to your point about the colleges, Dan, we've actually started working with Oklahoma State University here. We provided some scholarships for some of their traditional game players, and then next semester we're going to do a scholarship as well and provide some headsets where they can start adding it into their program at Oklahoma State University. So the colleges are really a growing area in this, and a lot of them are just working out of their student unions. I'm finding out it's not. The colleges are really not providing a ton of financial support for them. So it's a nice inroad. They need the assistance. We need the recognition. And so anytime that we can talk later, if you would want to arrange a meeting with your guy up there, if they're working out of the student union, then we could probably do some kind of cross-platform play where they could play against the University of Tulsa here, or Oklahoma State University, and we could do something fun like that.
Yeah.
And then talking about the gaming consoles, not being a gamer, it's been mentioned a couple times on here where we're saying we're not gamers, but this was we should probably identify a little bit for a lot of people what console we're actually playing on. This is played on a MetaQuest headset, Oculus Quest 2 headset, and it's downloadable through their store. So it'd be like getting on your iTunes store or something like that, and you just download it directly onto the headset. So it's a standalone device. You don't have to have any wires connected. The games that we're selling is retailing for $24.99, so they're inexpensive compared to when you go buy like a PlayStation 5 game or something like that. Now they're $70 or $80 or more. So it's a streamlined, really easy device to use, and the market's growing a lot. It's a little bit harder. You don't have the same kind of graphics and things like that in VR that you would on a console machine, because you just don't have the processing power. It's essentially like designing for a mobile device, a mobile phone. So you really got to watch how much graphics and things like that you use, or you'll overheat the headset. So there is some restrictions on what we can do graphics now, but as the hardware gets better, you've seen that. I'm sure everybody's seen that Apple's getting involved and coming out with their own headset now, which I believe is going to be good for the entire industry. As soon as we get our hands on one of those, we'll start cross-platform programming for that device as well. So, I'm excited about the market. I'm excited about the industry. There's multiple different fronts we can make a dent on. And I think adding some of this virtual stuff along with our national tournaments, we've been demoing all the tournaments already, and we've got great response. All the boxers come and demo. They love it. We've got a partnership with USA Boxing, and they've ordered headsets, and they're using them to do training with their national team at camps right now. So that's kind of cool because this is an Olympic qualifying year. So we got some neat things going on in the world boxing world that I think is really going to translate over and combine well with this gaming community.
Yeah, and I think it's great. I mean, you talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been covering the University of Tulsa for this will be a decade now. So hearing about that area, and I'll actually be seeing them this coming week. So I'm excited about what you have going on and what you're doing. I appreciate it. Christy, before we let Aaron go, is there anything else you'd want to touch on here in the virtual reality world? Any upcoming fights with Lisa? Whatever we have going on?
No fights with Lisa because I haven't won one since I think it was November of 2010 or something. Not 2010, 2001 when I fought her in November. So that's the last fight I won with Lisa. So no rematch on that one. But yeah, I think this is, I'm not a gamer, but when I put this headset on and I got into that world, I was into that world. So this is awesome. Anybody out there, try the game. You're going to love it. And as we talked about, it's great fitness. It's great competition. It just make you feel good. It was just one of those things that, unless of course you're one getting whacked, I guess maybe that won't make you feel good. But you shouldn't be. You should be the one doing the whacking. You should be the one doing the punching and just having a great time. Aaron he's got this and just expanding it like crazy. One thing before he goes, I want to mention that Aaron and I are going to team up with coming to Tulsa with the Christy's Champs tournament, and that will be sometime next year, hopefully April. And the city of Tulsa is behind us. I'm excited about coming back and just getting this tournament up and rolling again. We had a lot of boxers in North Carolina when we did this, so to bring it to Tulsa, it's gonna be huge. And we're really excited about working with Aaron, not just on the game, but on this tournament that will be a yearly tournament as well.
Yeah, and Aaron, I got to give you a shout out too because I'm a proud goatee wearer, and I see that we have similar taste in facial hair. So I got to shout you out for that too.
Oh my goodness.
Everything draws people together, Dan. I guess it was our beards and cosmic universe.
Yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need. So with that being said, we will see you. Hopefully, we'll have the opportunity to have you back on the show soon. Would love to, get some time with you soon. Like you said, we got some things to talk about, and we'll see you in the virtual reality world as well. Golden Gloves VR, go check it out. Everybody, you can find it very easily online, and of course, we're connected on all of our social media on Wake Up Call to Golden Gloves as well as to the Engine Room. So, Aaron, thank you for your time, and thank you for connecting Christy with this. You are right about everything you said. She is a tremendous person, and she does make sure that the time that she spends is valuable, not only to the person trying to give, that she's trying to give back to, but that she takes something from it herself. So thank you for your inclusion of Christy. Thank you for inclusion of women's boxing and for all the hard work that you're putting together and all the hours that you put into it. So we definitely will look forward to having you back on soon.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us on, and nice to meet you, Pat.
You too. Take care, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
You guys have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Take care. So with that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, we want to thank you for being a part of the show here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of Christy's Corner, which is here with us bi-monthly every other Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, carrying us through the first hour. And Pat is going to hang on the line with us, boxing photographer and owner of PB&J's Lunchbox, the absolutely, incredibly, desirably amazing sandwiches, soups, tacos, everything. It's Taco Tuesday. So I have to ask this now. 663 Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York, for all of you that need to know what you do. Pat, what is on the menu today for Taco Tuesday?
Oh, that would be Bang Bang shrimp tacos today.
What? Let's go. Finally. All right. Okay, good.
Yes, it will be there today, Pat. Yes, it will be there today.
I will be there today. I'm going to be See, I should be doing some. When you tell me there's going to be shrimp tacos, I should treat it like a Black Friday. And, I should be ready to get out there and stand in line at like 5 o'clock in the morning for my shrimp tacos. I should have a tent outside of PB&J's lunch.
You're the only one, Dan.
Listen, there's a lot of people that come out to that food truck. You did a really nice thing for another company with Oompa Loompias this year, or this past week, I should say. So, you're always giving back to the community, Pat, but you're also helping out other people. And I want to shout you out if we can, and I'm sure Christy will, be okay with me doing this. Pat, I don't think that you are told enough. I mean, I do. I try. But I don't think you're told enough in this community and in general, just the way that you work, what you do. Yes, you provide amazing food with PB&J's Lunchbox, with the food truck and the cafe, but you work tirelessly. If something is given off to someone else and they don't complete the job, you'll take over and do everything you can to get it right. You do job on top of job on top of job. I don't know when you sleep. You have dogs to take care of. You have relationships that you foster, and yet you make us all feel seen and appreciated. When people come into PB&J's that know me, they always come back to me with positivity, and you've treated my family with a ton of respect. You've been good to Lily. And so, I really genuinely think that we should share in Central and Upstate New York and beyond that not only is your food great, but you are a fantastic person who never takes no for an answer, and you don't ever quit. And I think that you need to hear that this morning and every morning, that we appreciate the fact that you get up and do what you do, because it's a really tough job and there's a lot of things behind the scene, but you always make it look easy.
Amen. I want to second that. I want to triple that. I want to quadruple that. That is so, you just hit the nail on the head, Dan. So Pat, please take those words of love from all of us out here, and you do need more positive reinforcement. And hopefully we can help give that to you. You're an awesome person, and we are special to know you and love you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're right, Dan. It's a never-ending job when you own a business, particularly the restaurant business. I always say Tony Graziano didn't do me a favor by not warning me about the restaurant business a little bit better on getting into that restaurant part, because it's a lot more work than being a photographer, I'll tell you that. But it's I don't even know how to say it, but the way it makes you feel when, people enjoy your food and compliment your staff and stuff like that is, it's really humbling. And, there's so many factors in the restaurant business. Like just yesterday, I had a job serving a corporate lunch, and I get in my truck and I had my brakes replaced on Sunday, and I get in the truck and my foot went right to the floor. I had no brakes. So I had to call my mechanic. He came over, got me up and running. I got there about 40 minutes late, but still served all the people. So, it worked out okay. And then I get back to the restaurant, and we had refrigeration problems and stuff like that. So it was like the grand slam yesterday of crap that could go wrong. But we survived it, and we move on today to hopefully better days. But I have a great team that works at the restaurant and on the food truck. They get a little worn down sometimes and frustrated, I'm sure. But we've had I don't even know how many 90-degree days this year, and when it's 90 degrees, it's like 100 in the restaurant, and it's, it's brutal. So they're standing strong and doing a great job, and we get a lot of compliments. So, we try to keep that up. Customer service is just as important as the cook. And, if we have everybody on board, it helps a lot. So they're doing a great job.
Yeah, no, and we definitely appreciate it, and I will buy as many shrimp tacos as it takes to get a smile back on your face today. So that's for you, and also very selfishly for me, because I'm going to probably eat them for lunch and dinner. But I'm very excited about that and having it back. I did ask Pat her top 3, and Christy's going to be happy with this. Pat, share with everybody PB&J's Lunchbox. I said, what are the top 3 things on your menu? Because we're going to do something special with it. You gave me your top 3. They did not include some of my top 3, but I want you to provide your top 3 because Christy is taken care of in one of these top 3.
Well, of course, it's a buffalo chicken wing grilled cheese because that's pretty unique and pretty tasty.
Yeah.
The grilled PB&J because it's award winning, and we got to go with the Bang Bang Tots because who doesn't like Bang Bang Tots? Even people that don't like them and try them end up liking them. So I'd say those are probably the top 3.
Yeah,
maybe that's just on the food truck. You know, there might be others that can sneak in there on and off at the restaurant because we do, you know, a lot of specials and stuff like that. So, but the top 3, everybody likes the top 3 that we have, definitely.
Yeah, and I know that I took a picture that I'm going to be utilizing in some of the promotional things that we do just to make people hungry in the middle of the day. And it was of the Bang Bang Tots because they looked like pristine. And the thing is this was at the end of the Wednesday events that are out at the old Great Northern Mall parking lot. So this is the end of the day. You know, people are packing up. People are tired. People are closing up shop. And what's Pat doing? She's working on the truck, and the Bang Bang Tots come out like it's the first thing. And you talk about customer service, and it's about that consistency. What they look like at the end. I mean, we know it. You go to a restaurant at the end of the day, and whatever the picture is, it looks like that thing it's just a pile of whatever at this point. It's like, get out of my restaurant. Why'd you come here at the end of the day? And no, Pat's look like it was every time, which is tender love and care. And I appreciated it. I asked the person that was going to eat them if I could take a picture, and they said yes. I thought in my head for a split second that I should, as taking that picture, I should probably run with them as fast as I could. But the good Catholic heart that I have did not allow me to do that, so I returned them to the owner. But they definitely look really good. So, Christy, I want to jump into this before we get into rapid fire because we just had Aaron Sloan on the show of Engine Room Boxing Gym and Engine Room VR in connection to Golden Gloves VR. When can Pat and I enjoy this with you? Because this is I think we need to just, I feel like there should be a PB&J's Lunchbox food truck virtual reality battle, and we're going to have people play throughout the day at an event. We'll have a little TV connected to the food truck. You know, I'll help do all the electronical stuff. We'll figure that out. But we do that during the day, and each champion that we have through the bracket gets a free thing of Bang Bang Tots, and at the end, we could present something big to them. But I feel like this could be a really cool idea. So question 1, when do Pat and I get to play? Question 2, can we make Golden Gloves VR a PB&J's challenge?
I think question 2 first is absolutely. And let's get Aaron up there, you know, and with you and at the college. Then we can just piggyback off that and have the PB&J challenge. I think and you know, at that point we'll bring the headset. I'll bring the headset and I'll have my platform ready to go. We just have to get you guys hooked up, and I can talk to Aaron about that. We'll get you guys hooked up, and you can practice a little bit, but you know, I've been practicing a long time, a lot of years, so I think I'm still going to be able to. I'm still going to do okay. I might not win, but I'm still going to do okay. This game is awesome, though. Dan, you're going to love it. You are absolutely going to love it.
See,
it was so much fun. And the bad thing is, like, almost every morning, I'm like, man, at some point today, I'm going to take, 10 minutes and do this. And then, unfortunately, as I was telling Aaron yesterday, I just haven't had time to get back to it. But hopefully after Myrtle Beach next week, and then we have Nashville again on August 8th, we'll have a little bit of a break before Tony Aguilar will be fighting on the Zone August 18th from Orlando on a Jake Paul promoted show. So we have a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of good stuff. And I believe that sneaking back down to Florida in August, so maybe I have to tailor my visit. So
Yeah.
I might have to do that. This is what I think we should do, Pat. But I think that we should have people compete in this thing, right? The PB&J's challenge, have Golden Gloves VR there, and at the end, we tell them that there's like going to be a giant question mark of like the champion of our bracket has to face the all-time champion, and there's going to be a silhouette and a question mark, and then they're going to find out at the end that it's Christy, because what we're going to put up there, we're going to be like, hey, the winner gets Bang Bang Tots for life, because nobody's knocking Christy Martin out. So that's get them really excited. No, get them really excited, and then bank on our ringer, who's Christy. And she just, they'd be like, oh my gosh, I got through the bracket. Bang Bang Tots for, a year. Let's do for a year, not for a life. Let's do for a year. So Bang Bang Tots for a year. And then we bring Christy out. We got the robe on her, everything. Maybe the robe can have little PB&Js on it. And she comes out as our ringer that they didn't know that they were fighting against. One shot, knockout. And after she knocks him out, she goes, you know what? She takes the Bang Bang Tots that they have in their hand. She grabs one out of it and she goes, I think this belongs to me. Bites it, winks at them, and we get that on video, and that's a promotion for PB&J's.
We do have
absolutely.
Fall food
Absolutely.
events. Like we had at the fair, but it's not as big. We don't have a food, we don't have judges or anything for a food competition. But we do have that foodie fest at the fairgrounds on September 23rd. Maybe that's something we should try to do.
I'm saying we got good ideas here, and if Christy and I aren't going to be wincing and moaning over some of the food that they present to us.
Oh my goodness. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I told people you either got an 18 or a 19 out of 20, or you got a 4. I mean, there was definitely a basement and a ceiling, and there wasn't a lot of in between roads. And I just want to credit my team. And I'll give all the credit to Christy and Jean, but I would like to credit my team because I believe that at least 2 out of 3 of the champions that we voted for that, we had them very high, and there was some really good stuff, and then there was some things where either Christy, myself, or Jean, we would taste it, and we trusted each other enough, and one of us would taste it, and the other person would go to pick it up, and we'd put our hand on their hand and go, no. Don't do that to yourself. Don't you worry. Because they're like, weren't you guys full? No, because we got hip enough to the game to know the good stuff. And I made a pile of that next to me to bring home for later. And then we watched some other things. But whoever ate that bouquet of flowers, there was a girl at the table, bless her heart. She ate an entire boutonniere. And I remembered the look on Gene's face. And he was just like, he's like, she's taking that to town. I will never forget that. I still can remember that food and taste it in my mouth, and it's not a good taste. But I could literally think about it and remember what it tasted like. So I guess they've made themselves very memorable, but not in a great way. But there was some very good stuff. PB&J's had some nice things out there. And a very nice look again. So we got to give you credit for that. But no, I think we should definitely do something and then have Christy come out and be the ringer. And listen, for our promotion and all the stuff that we do, if I can get a video close up of her going and taking somebody's Bang Bang Tot, looking right at them and eating it and saying, I believe these belong to me, winking, and then putting her hood back up and walking away, that would be incredible. So
awesome. That'd be fun, too.
I'd be like, Christy doesn't have 49. She has 50, 51, 52, 53. Keep it going on. She's going for 60 today. So there's a lot of good stuff. Well, let's jump into rapid fire. Christy's Corner here with, of course, the International Boxing Hall of Famer, Christy Salters Martin, and our boxing photographer and owner of PB&J's Lunchbox, Pat Orr, myself, Dan Tortora, here on Wake Up Call on our bi-monthly segment, Christy's Corner, every other Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on all of our channels around the world. Christy, you will ask me, I will ask Pat, and then we'll go back around. So whenever you're ready.
First, before we start on rapid fire, I want to say happy 60th anniversary to my mom and dad,
Yes.
Johnny and Joyce Salters. My mom is probably listening at Dallas right now. So, Mom, I love you. Tell Dad I love him. I'm so proud to be your daughter. And happy 60th anniversary. I'm going to say I couldn't put up with any person on this earth for 60 years. So, kudos to both Mom and Dad for showing people how it's supposed to be done.
Happy anniversary to incredible, amazing, awesome people. And the thing is, too, like, you get to, you know, even though it was a tough story to tell, we get to see them within the Netflix Deal with the Devil. And Christy, I want to mention this to you. I was around a bunch of people yesterday, and I had made a comment about that. I said, oh, you know, you got to check out Christy. We do this and that. You know, we have this with the show, and you got to check out Deal with the Devil. And so we're all sitting there, and one of the people looked at me, and he goes, oh, I already saw that. And I was like, good, I'm happy that you watched it. So, you know, there are a bunch of people that have seen that story. I will never forget, like, you know, your dad being a true dad, in that when he's like, if I knew what was going on, he's like, I went and got him myself. And I definitely, you know, your mom is so sweet. She sends messages to, you know, she'll send me a message. She'll like our posts and whatnot. So, yes, happy 60th to you both. You deserve all the accolades in a world that can't stay together for 15 minutes. 60 years, baby. Let's go. So let's give them the credit that they deserve. And they obviously brought us, you know, Pat and I selfishly, one of our near and dear friends in Christy. So thank y'all for loving each other and for what that love brought to us. So with that being said, Christy, you get to ask me your first question.
Okay. So, geez. I wasn't prepared for the questions on rapid fire today. So, if you were going to actually go watch any two boxers box, whether they're in the same era or not, who would you like to see fight each other?
Oh.
Ooh.
I want to see you. And I'm trying. Okay. I have somebody in mind, but I want to. I don't know if I want to pick that person. So.
You're gonna have to explain that one.
Yeah. Okay. So no. So no. There's somebody that I would like to see, but then I think, well, there's a couple that I'd like to see, and I think that I would have to go with. I want to see you fight Dakota Stone. I would say Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, the whole, you know, everything that was connected to that. So I would want you to see, you know, because I know that the fight, you know, the alleged canceling of the fight and all that stuff and fighting up against it. And so I would probably say, you know what? I have three choices. I'm going to explain because I know Pat said I have to explain this. So Dakota Stone, yes. Layla Ali, just because I like that, and I love, you know, and I'm 5'8", so if somebody's taller than you and they think they're better, they could beat you. I'd want to see that again. And you know what? I think the fight that I want to see, the TKO that I want to see more than any other fight, Christy Martin. Let me slow it down. I'm getting very excited. Christy Martin, Jim Martin, TKO in the ring. Like they just let him out for like a day to just like stand in the yard. Bang out, 50th win. Good night, everybody. That's what I want to see.
I got you.
But no, I mean, yeah, I think Dakota, but I thought of Layla first and then I thought Dakota, but yeah, you know, I think we should have a little Jim Martin knockout. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, mine's for Pat now. All right, Pat. Pat says I always ask her hard questions, and this one's going to be a hard one. So, okay, Pat, if you could describe yourself as a cereal, what cereal would you be? I know what I ate late last night. Late last night at 11 o'clock, I was eating Fruity Pebbles. I'll tell you that. So.
Wow. I would have to say it would be the Reese's like Cocoa Puffs where you have the chocolate and the peanut butter.
Okay.
Because those are my two favorites, and nothing puts a smile on your belly than when you eat your favorite food.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge cereal eater. I eat some Raisin Bran and stuff, but my favorite are the chocolate and peanut butter ones. So I would have to say those.
All right. I like it. That works. What's your question for Christy?
My question for Christy. Well, I got her audio book this week, and I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to pay attention to it and stuff, but I put it in my car and I listen to it everywhere I go. So I get like a chapter here and there, sometimes 2 chapters and stuff. And I have to tell you that's like one of the most incredible inventions in the world, because if I read a book, I fall asleep. But if I'm listening to it on the radio, on my radio, it's like, it's so, you get captured in it. Would you ever have thought that somebody else reading your book could be so captivating as it is? Because the woman reading it is incredible, and it's so convincing, and it draws you in, and you feel like you're right there having the story told to you. So did you ever think that it would be, that an audio book would be out on your story for everybody to listen to?
Of course, I never thought an audiobook would be out. I never thought a book would be out. All this stuff is just way more than I could have ever really imagined. But I did speak with the lady who read the book, and she was awesome. She was so kind, just so into the project. And it's funny because she just moved from up by you and moved to Asheville, North Carolina. So such a big change in her life. Now she says, now I have a yard. I don't think she must have been in the city. She wasn't by you. She was in the city. And she's like, I have a yard. I see animals. They're like, it was totally different lifestyle for her, but she was 100% excited about the project. So I'm glad. I haven't been able to hear it yet. They were supposed to send me a copy like 3 months ago, and I haven't gotten a copy. I know Lisa bought the book, but I don't know if she's listened to it. So I'll have to steal her copy and listen to it. I know that, as you mentioned, Don King did a great intro or forward, and it was awesome what he wrote. And then it's Ron Borges's words, so it was. I think the book hits on a lot of different groups of people that can really relate back to the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, and hopefully they can take some strength away from it, or realize that, hey, they're not the only person in that boat. There's other people out there as well, and that there are people that are able to help, as I say, not only able to help, but want to help. And that's a big difference.
Yeah, my cousin always talked about how she did Audible books when she was traveling for her job and stuff, and I was like, because she used to read books a lot, so when she was talking about doing the Audible books, it's so much easier. I can listen to it, and get tired of it and start listening to music. And I've never done an Audible book, but as soon as I got it, I put it in, and I was like, you hear Don King talking and it was just an incredible intro, and then the lady that reads it, it's just so convincing and so genuine that it's really kind of like listening to you read it. It's like coming from the words of your mouth, but through her, and she's incredible at it.
And at the end, I'm actually talking. I actually have a little chapter that just to talk about the book and what Christy's Champs is doing and what we have going on with Christy Mart Promotions. Just a lot of positive kind of stuff, but it is really me.
Awesome.
I love it. Christy, what's your question for Pat?
Pat, as you know, that I'm really working with Country Box a lot, and if there was one performer, and it doesn't even matter if it's country music or not, but one performer we could bring in to Country Box to perform, whether they're still alive or past or whatever, any performer, who would you be? Who would it be? Cost doesn't matter. We have all the money in the world. We can bring anybody you want. Who would we bring?
My first choice would have to be Melissa Etheridge because she's my favorite artist. And as far as like the country side, like Chris Stapleton, I could listen to. Lainey Wilson, I could listen to. I like Brett Young. So I think if it's anybody that, you know, just they have good music out there and they're good entertainers, and you know, I think that'll work. If it was just one artist, I would have to say it would probably be Melissa Etheridge. If it was a local artist, I would want Mike Powell. He used to play lacrosse at SU. Him and his brothers, great lacrosse players from Carthage. And he always played his guitar, wrote songs and stuff while I was at SU. And, you know, said people, you know, were like, God, you're crazy, Mike. Go out and have some fun. But his music is incredible storytelling, and I like storytellers. So I would have to say those guys. If you picked any of those, I'd be happy.
Yeah, cool. I like that. Nice shout out here locally as well. Pat, what's your question for me?
Let's see. Well, you know, we're doing some renovations to the restaurant. We got some grant money, and we put a nice awning outside on the deck, and people can bring their dogs and stuff out there for that. But if we had like a grand opening for the deck,
yeah,
and we had to bring some music in for it, who would you bring in to entertain PB&J's on a grand opening for their renovation?
Oh, boy. So, well, you talked about some local people that you like. So, I feel like, you know, I'd want to bring in who you like the most. And you said you like storytellers. So, I mean, is this like I could bring in anybody in the world?
Sure.
Okay. Well, we could bring anybody in the world and, you know, nothing's an option here, then, I mean, you said Melissa Etheridge. So, you know, if that's something that, you know, we could go and, I mean, to me, honestly, anybody, I mean, I know who I like, Pat. And I don't know if that's, you know, if it's the same, you know, I don't know. I know that there's some music that we have is the same, but if I had the chance, I would probably say, you said you like Melissa Etheridge, so why not bring in Melissa Etheridge to be a part of PB&J's?
Who would your choice be, though?
Who would my choice be?
Who would your favorite music be?
Oh, man. Oh, boy. If I could bring in anybody in the world, I'd bring in Journey. And I would bring in Journey.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I would bring in Journey without doubt. I should have known when I was married back in the day, when she hated the song "Don't Stop Believin'," and I was like, who hates this song? And she's like, I was like, who hates Journey? Who hates this song? And then like I wanted it played at the wedding, and you know, she's just like, ugh, play it once and like get it out of my face type of thing. And I mean, that was one of my giant red flags I didn't pay attention to. But I would say, yeah, I mean, if I could bring in anybody, I would bring in Journey. And, you know, I would also say I'd probably bring in the Blue Man Group, because my cousin is one of their drummers. So I'd bring in Jeff in the Blue Man Group. So, but yeah, Journey, Maroon 5, something like that.
We could always get the Journey cover band from Rochester.
Yes.
They're really good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think
we can have the real Journey.
Yeah, no, I think Journey is fantastic. And, you know, also the Prince experience that was at the fair, they were phenomenal. They were great. And, I mean, honestly, I'd never been to a Prince concert. I felt like they had brought us, like, as close to the door as they can bring you to what it could feel like. Because if you close your eyes and you listen to the sound, it was, I mean, everybody was awesome. The entire band was awesome. The singers were great. The outfits, I think they did a tremendous job. I've never seen a Prince cover band, but I don't know if I want to see another one besides that one. So I would say them too. Okay, now I got to have one for. So now I got to have one for Christy. Let's see, Christy.
He's thinking hard.
I am.
I smell the smoke in the
All right, let me think here. So, Christy, you are going to start your own cruise line, and it's gonna be called Castaway Christy or something like that. We're gonna have a good time, right? You could go to any 3 countries on the cruise. Where do you go?
Oh, well, I want to go to Italy because I want to do the Rome thing and all the tourist awesome stuff in Italy.
Okay.
So, where else do I really want to go that I haven't been? I loved Aruba. I don't know if we want to count Aruba, but I loved it there. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Where would I like to go? I mean, I think the Middle East would be very interesting. It would be great to see some of the sites and everything, but I feel it's so dangerous that I really wouldn't want to go there.
Maybe you could do that virtually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to do that through the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Well, our own country, Alaska. I think Alaska cruise. I mean, I have friends of mine, Dan and Terry, did the Alaskan cruise and brought back pictures that were so awesome. I think that would be a great cruise to do as well.
Okay.
That would be a great photography cruise, definitely.
Oh my goodness, it would have to be. Yes, I mean they're pictures and they're just I mean I don't remember at the time if we were still doing pictures with cameras or if we were just doing it with phones, but there was awesome, unbelievable the pictures that they had.
Yeah, and I know that I have some friends up in Alaska, and they've told, I don't know, they said this a really long time ago. I've never been there. And they're like, you have to come out, you have to see it, you have to experience it. So, no, I like that. An Alaskan cruise, Aruba, Italy, I disagree with none of those. So I think that would be tremendous. I think that would be really awesome. So with that being said, for Christy Salters-Martin, for myself, Dan Tortora, for Miss Pat Orr, for Aaron Sloan, I want to thank everybody that's a part of Christy's Corner today. International Boxing Hall of Famer Christy Salters-Martin, boxing photographer, and the owner of one of the greatest places your taste buds will ever travel to, PB&J's Lunchbox on 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. And, of course, for Aaron Sloan of Engine Room Boxing Gym and Engine Room VR in connection with Golden Gloves VR, I would like to thank Aaron again. Pat, Christy, thank you for Christy's Corner. Thank you for spending some time, as always, and I appreciate you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Pat.
Take care of yourself. Be good. Now we need to do a concert at PB&J's. Now it's on my brain. So now we have to do it. We got to figure it out, Pat. All right, well, take care.
I have to wait until I get the driveway paid.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, well, hopefully the money for the tacos will help you out today. All right, take care. Thank you.
Bye.
See you. That coming here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. I appreciate you being here with me every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to take a quick step aside for a fast break. Then inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin' will be joined by UTSA, that's the University of Texas, San Antonio, their VP for Intercollegiate Athletics, the leader of their athletic department. Coming up here in just a moment, we'll have Lisa Campos here with us. Very excited to have her on the show. And this will continue our American Athletic Conference, A New Era series, speaking with each of the institutions that have officially joined the American Athletic Conference, coming from Conference USA on July 1st, 2023. They've been on the show for the last couple of years. This takes a deeper dive into this new era and being a part of the conference, and it's their official ushering in to the conference. So the American Athletic Conference, A New Era series, continues with the University of Texas San Antonio VP for Intercollegiate Athletics, Lisa Campos, joining me right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? This is a special message from Merritt Brady, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Watertown on 1290 Arsenal Street in Watertown, New York.
Chick-fil-A for me has always been about the people. I think it starts with the strength and leadership of the Cathy family. It's just amazing to see a family-run business reach the altitude that they have. Second mile service is something that we embodied at my previous business, and the ability to make people feel like they're the only person at your establishment, that you are there to serve them that day and looking for those extra ways to make them happy, to anticipate what they need next is what makes me tick. And I'm going to have so many opportunities at Chick-fil-A to do that. It's one of my favorite things to eat in the world. My favorite application question or interview question when I'm interviewing is when I get to, have you ever eaten at Chick-fil-A? And a smile hits both their ears. You know, they can't even answer the question for a second. And when I see that, it's like, man, that's going to be a great hire. They already get it. They already feel it. They already know that we're different. The Chick-fil-A experience, it's a real thing. And then, of course, just our generosity and community involvement and making a positive impact in the lives of our team members, our guests, and the community in general, I think is really the secret sauce.
Avicolli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicolli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicolli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying. In the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. This is a special message from 317 at Montgomery restaurant owner Joel Carpenter. Open Tuesday through Saturday for your dining pleasure on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York.
We wanted to be a part of the resurgence of Syracuse. We saw a lot of money being put into bringing people back downtown and thought that, we'd like to be a part of that. I love putting together a good dish where people see it first, they fall in love with it, and then it tastes just as good as it looks. We want to provide the best food in Syracuse that we possibly can, and we want you to leave here talking to your family, your friends about what you had to eat first and foremost, but also our service, and to walk out feeling like you're part of our family. I work out in the front of the house a lot, and I love walking to every single table, asking them how everything is, and people looking at me and smiling and saying, this is the most amazing short rib I've ever had. This is the most amazing filet I've ever had. And Donna is great. Sarah's amazing. Thank you for coming over and talking to us. And them just being truly happy for the experience that they've gotten.
317 at Montgomery Restaurant, part of the fabric of downtown Syracuse, located on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday for a unique and memorable dining experience. Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and this very special opportunity that we have here today to honor the official move into the American Athletic Conference. July 1st has become an important date for so many institutions over the past decade plus because it's that marker of change. And here on July 1st, 2023, there are 6 schools entering in the American Athletic Conference, one of them being UTSA, the University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners are speeding into the American Athletic Conference, and Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics, Lisa Campos, has been a mainstay of the last 2 years on the broadcast, and she is here with me today. Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely. And seeing that backdrop behind you and like the what that picture probably looked like when it was taken and just that beauty of it, I more and more when I hear about the Roadrunners, when you and I talk, because you always bring the positivity and you speak about UTSA and all the special things to offer. And then I see that backdrop and I say to myself, why am I not having a nice ice cold beverage at the University of Texas San Antonio right now?
That's right. When are you going to come visit? Come on out.
I know I gotta make my way down there, which I will. And I'm excited. It would be my first trip to San Antonio.
Well, we'll show you all around. There's a lot of big news, not just with UTSA and the American, but also we got the #1 draft pick and, with the Spurs. So lots going on here in San Antonio.
Yeah, Victor Wembanyama. So very excited to see. And the last time the San Antonio Spurs drafted a center, #1 overall, David Robinson, champion, Tim Duncan, right, champion, Victor Wembanyama, a lot of people are hoping also a champion. So I've seen Dallas, I've seen Arlington, I've seen, where else have I seen? Dallas, Arlington, I have seen one other place that's escaping. Did I see some of Fort Worth? I saw Fort Worth, and I've seen Houston. So what makes San Antonio so different from other parts of Texas?
Oh, that's a great question. Not spending a lot of time in those areas. What I can speak to is San Antonio. It's the people. We are the 7th largest city in the nation, but it is a small town feel. It's the familia, the multicultural heritage here in San Antonio. It's the support of our sport teams like the Spurs and UTSA athletics. But really, when it comes down to it, we have incredible folks, incredible leaders in this community, incredible supporters, and then great food.
And that's the thing is I hear about it. So I had suggested to the American Athletic Conference, because I've known Chuck Sullivan for a while, that I have a menu that I would like for the American Summer Kickoff, that I have a barbecue menu of different things, corn on the cob, but like street corn and whatnot. So if I'm in San Antonio, I think we might have talked a little bit about this before, but what food am I getting in San Antonio that you feel like is just the best? If I'm going in the barbecue region, what am I getting?
Oh, that's a great question. So barbecue specific, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, it could be the street corn. It can just be the brisket. It's all of it. And there's so many great places here. So come on down, come visit us.
Talking about food in the studio, it always makes me hungry. I always talk in the studio when I'm starving. So I don't know why I do it. It's like a punishment. You know what? It's my fasting. That's what it is. It's me learning through the fast. So I'm wearing a shirt that has the word respect on it. When it comes to UTSA, building respect, earning respect, what can you say about RESPECT when it comes to our Roadrunners?
You know what? We're going to be the new kids on the block, but I think that what we've done over the last few years, that there has been a lot of respect built particularly for our football program. But you look at our other programs, and we're having a lot of program first, right? Our baseball team, first time to be ranked in the top 25 in the nation, winning back-to-back conference championships in football. Our men's tennis program going to NCAA postseason for the first time in history. Women's golf winning the regional championship in our individual player. So a lot of firsts happening with all of our programs, or with many of our programs. And so I think it is building that RESPECT for sure.
And you and I have spoken about Jeff Traylor before, and locking up your head coach in a long-term contract, and just the fact that you see eye to eye and there's that connection and that feel. When spending so much time speaking on Jeff and what he's done with football and the success you've had there, I know you've mentioned some of the other sports and a bunch of firsts, but when we look at the portfolio of the Roadrunners coming into the American, what is there to truly be excited about when you look at your head coaches as a collective?
We have incredible head coaches, and you look at the experience that these coaches have, and again, starting with Jeff and the experience he has and the success that he's had in a short amount of time. But then you look at our women's basketball coach, Karen Aston, who was going to Final Fours, Elite Eights at University of Texas, and to get a caliber coach like her here. You look at Pat Hallmark, the work that he did at Rice and all the from national champions to regionals, all those sorts of successes, that we just have incredible people. We just hired a new women's softball coach in Van Studeman, and she was at Mississippi State and had a lot of success there, and she'll start in the American as a first year coach here at UTSA. And so, again, Sergey, our men's tennis coach, who was a first time head coach, and it's taken him he's built this over the last few years to have us have a national ranking. That we just have incredible coaches who are just working their tails off, supporting our student athletes, finding every competitive edge that they can find, and putting out a great product.
Yeah, and that excitement that you have of, like you said, these people, the caliber that you're bringing in, and the amount of success that they've had en route. What do you think is attracting them to UTSA, that they've had so much success elsewhere, but when it comes to the next chapter in their time as a coach, as a leader, why do you think that UTSA is so sellable?
I'm so sorry. My phone's ringing.
Oh, you're good.
You know what? Our coaches feel the excitement. They see the momentum. They know the upper trajectory of this university, of this athletics program. It's San Antonio. I mean, how can you not sell San Antonio? I think they recognize there are a lot of great things in place here for them to recruit and retain the best student athletes. And that's what it's about, right? Getting the best coaches, getting the best student athletes, retaining them. And there's so many positive things here in San Antonio, like I said, between the city support, the people who come out day in and day out to support us, the trajectory of our university. There are just so many positive things happening here at UTSA.
And here with this very special American Athletic Conference ushering in with Lisa Campos, the Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics at UTSA. I ask you this every single time, but I have to know because it's important to me, and I now take it personally if anybody says it wrong. No more USTA, right? But I do have to tell you that the USTA, the headquarters, like down there in Orlando, that Lemoyne's men's tennis team advanced and went down to the USTA. So I got to have a connection to the USTA and UTSA at the same time, which was pretty special.
I love it. That was, kind of fun when that was all happening. And, then you look at what our tennis program did. And I think that the USTA was a little proud of being connected with UTSA.
Yeah. And you and I have spoken about it before. There's, what the Roadrunner symbolizes. And I know that there's, everybody has certain hand signals and whatnot. So can you bring me into the creation of the hand signal for the Roadrunner? Because I know you've done it in pictures before.
Absolutely. I don't know if you can see it in that screen, but you got the head and the tail, and we got our Roadrunners and our birds up.
And for you being, named the Roadrunners, there's obviously, I grew up on the Warner Brothers cartoons, and we know that the Roadrunner was smart, witty, and extremely fast. So
Absolutely.
When you look at UTSA as an institution, where do you see that wit, that intelligence, and the ability to, like you said, upward trajectory to be able to move at a quick pace in a positive direction?
Yeah, and I think the other attribute in a real Roadrunner, not the cartoon, is ferocious. That Roadrunners really are ferocious, and that's our coaches. That they're never going to give up. They're never going to have excuses. They're going to put their head down, and they're going to work. And the work ethic of our coaches, of our student athletes, of this community, it's compares to nothing I've seen before. So I think, we really embrace those attributes. We want to be quick in our trajectory. We want to be ferocious. We want to persevere through a lot of things. And, when we have a lot of growth ahead of us and a lot of opportunity. And it's just, I can't express how exciting of a time it is to be a Roadrunner right now.
We look at the American Athletic Conference, and when it was transitioning from the old Big East to the American, they were in Providence, Rhode Island. Our summer kickoffs for football were at Goat Island in Newport, and it was a Northeast conference. Now, when you look at the map, outside of having Temple in Pennsylvania and having Navy in Maryland, we see, almost every state right there in that like middle, from Texas all the way over to Florida. We see a lot of that representation, and no state more than the state of Texas. When you look at the American Athletic Conference, does it feel to you like a Southern Belt type of feel to it, a Southern region type of conference? Because you do have, a couple outliers, but there's so much dominance there that this conference has transitioned from its roots of being in the Northeast to being Southern middle to Southeast for a lot of their teams.
Absolutely. And a lot of places, from a donor perspective, that are going to be really fun to go visit. We get also just the regional, to stay in Texas and to be able to have 3 teams in the state of Texas that we'll still be able to compete with, to Tulane, Memphis. I mean, those are great places and great institutions. So I think our fans are going to really relate to a lot of these schools. And then we're going to learn about some of the new ones, right? We're used to going to Florida. Now it's, with USF and going to Temple. That will be something new for me, going to Navy. So a lot of great opportunity and excitement.
And when we look at this this schedule that we have now, the way that the schedule has been put together with these rivalries, we know that there's definitely a uniqueness to the football model for the American Athletic. They had done away with divisions inside of their conference earlier, but for 2023 through 2026, they're going to test something out for 4 years. And that's going to be that every single team, all 14 member institutions on the football side for the American Athletic, they're going to be able to face each other twice, once at home, once on the road, meaning that if someone stays at any one of the colleges or universities and gets an education, a degree at the end of it all, they will have played every team twice, and they will have played those teams at home and on the road. Just what that model means, and I know you alluded to it a little bit there, but just what it means for the student athlete experience.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the students want to play, they want to play up, they want to play great teams, and we're going to have an opportunity. And this is a tough league. You know, it's going to be anyone's opportunity to compete for that championship. And our student athletes are really excited about the competition, the level of competition, to be on stage with some really historic programs. You know, we're still very young. I haven't done the math, but we might be one of the youngest institutions and athletic programs in this new American. And so we're competing with a lot of years of history, and our students are really revved up to be on that stage.
And we already know that in the fall, I mean, we know for 2023, 24, 25, and 26, what your schedule is going to look like home and on the road in the conference. Just preparation wise, what that means to you to see exactly where you're going to be for the next 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's probably more important to Jeff and his staff and strategy for that. For us, it's on the administrative level, you know, just figuring out travel and figuring out, you know, how we engage our alumni in those areas, how we are the traveling party of our local supporters. But it is nice to know ahead of time what that's going to look like.
We know that there will be yearly rivalries, and some of these renewed, and some of them continuing as Rice and UTSA are moving from Conference USA to the American Athletic at the same time. But knowing that you have that rivalry that's been put together between Rice and UTSA, and obviously, you know, you, like you said, North Texas and SMU in the state of Texas are there with you as well. But when we saw all of these rivalries put together and these regional matchups set by the American, to have Rice and UTSA have a distinct signifier there annually, just what you think that means and what you could say about Rice University and that connection.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think as we were going through that, you know, between North Texas, Rice, that there's been a lot of buildup with just any team in Texas. And, you know, the Rice obviously is such an incredible institution, and that football program just keeps getting better and better. And so we're excited about all those competitions, all those opponents, but being able to stay obviously in the state of Texas every year and playing those games is really important to us.
You know, and North Texas also coming with you in this move of 6 institutions to the American Athletic, but SMU being a connection of old, to have now SMU in the fray here and to have the Dallas side of things, just what that does for UTSA.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you know, from not just from an athletics perspective, but from an institutional perspective, you know, many of our students come from the state of Texas, and this is just going to provide more exposure, more brand recognition in the state of Texas. It's going to get us in markets that are really important to us. We have a lot of alum in all those areas, so being able to play in front of our alum is always important. So again, those Texas opponents are really important to us.
Lisa Campos here with me in this special welcoming into the American Athletic Conference officially. It's been almost 2 years since it was announced on my birthday, October 21st of 2021. So it was 21, and I'm big on God showing me things through numbers. So from my birthday to now, what has this experience been like for you as you ramped up for where we stand today, where it all becomes official?
Yeah, I feel like it's all happened in the blink of an eye. That seems like it was so long ago, 2021, but we got to work right away, and our staff knows, we're not taking our foot off the gas, that we have a lot of growth and opportunity ahead of us. But there's just been so much excitement and anticipation. It didn't feel like July 1, 2023 was going to come this quickly, and our fan base is just so excited. You see, this week, in teasing out some of those things, the conference office, our institution, and you just see the pride and the excitement of not just our staff, our university, but all of our fans across the nation, excited for this day to come.
Realignment has reared its head so many times. July 1st, like I said, has become a date that we all kind of look at and like, what's going to happen now? So for you, looking at the American and seeing what it has, and even with Houston and UCF and Cincinnati leaving, why do you believe in this conference? Why do you believe that this is going to shine a greater light than has ever arguably been shined before on UTSA?
Yeah, I think history repeats itself, right? And this has traditionally been the strongest conference in this level. And Commissioner Rusko has done an incredible job of having a vision for what this conference is going to be. And you see those three schools who have left and what they were able to accomplish in this, and the opportunities it's provided for the rest of the schools in this league. So I think, just a lot of credit to his leadership and to the staff about what they want this conference to be and the opportunities that it's going to afford us.
And for you, kind of in a closing note, Lisa, when you get to look at this personally and being a part of it, you've worked diligently to do a lot at UTSA, and representation, equality, people feeling that everyone has an opportunity, and no matter who you are, where you come from, what your background is, that the American dream is that anyone can become exactly what they want to be. So with all the work that you put forward with that, I'd love for you to just share how this moment feels to be guiding as a leader with, I know, your team and the school in general, but for UTSA to do this, you have to be a part of it and get on board. And there's so many things that you've worked at to really try and be a voice for people. And I know that that's incredibly important to you. So I'd love for you to share it from that perspective.
Sure. You know what? It is so humbling to be in the ADC in this transition, but a lot of credit to Dr. Amy, to our CFO Veronica Salazar, to our provost Dr. Espy. I mean, they have really supported this from day one. They've supported athletics. We can't do anything in a silo, and it takes a team. And I look at our coaches, all of our staff. That this all happened because they believed, and we put a vision in front of a lot of people, our fans, our donors, and they believe, and they continue to believe. We're not done. We want to be competitive in the American. We have a lot of opportunity ahead of us, but it is really humbling as once in a while when we have a moment to pause and celebrate and look back. It just brings joy to my heart, and it is humbling to be a part of all of this.
So what do you want to say to the world? If they don't know the Roadrunners, what should they know as of right now as an American Athletic Conference team?
I would say that we are, we're just a special community, and that we are hungry. We want to be a great representation of this conference, and we are just hungry and bold and ready for this move.
Coming from Lisa Campos, VP for Intercollegiate Athletics at UTSA, the Roadrunners. And as always, Lisa, I appreciate you spending some time with me here on Wake Up Call to tell your story.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. He kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate
corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also, I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was, selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Happy to be here with you every single Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports truly meets that thing called life. It is perfect timing as we are right here at the 10:50 mark, which is that time every Tuesday where we have the opportunity to share with you the ingredients to success, proudly presented by the fantastic team at Avicolli's. It is always my honor and my privilege to bring you the ingredients to success. Avicolli's, 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. Open Tuesday through Sunday for your pleasure in dining for lunch and dinner, as well as drinks. And of course, as always, drink responsibly. Open for you Tuesday through Sunday. They are closed on Mondays. And you can go to the pizza side, kind of casual side, and then the fine dining side, as well as outside as weather permits. We have the opportunity to have the beautiful array of flowers. You could sit outside and have yourself a nice time on their little patio. And of course, they have their bar area as well. So there's plenty of different ways to enjoy Avicolli's on site at 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. And you can also enjoy them by calling them for takeout, delivery, and catering. 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. They also updated their website, made things a lot easier to order, so you can go to myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com, and you can order today. So many different ways to get involved with Avicolli's, to support local, and to have some tremendously awesome food, which I suggest you get right now and get yourself out to Avicolli's. And I appreciate all that Avicolli's has done in our community for many, many decades. Appreciate John and the entire team over there. Thank you for all the positivity that you bring, all the great food and smiles, and thank you for the work that you do. I mean, they have stayed very busy. And I always go back to the story of COVID time, and just seeing the amount of people that came out there to support Avicolli's. I mean, there was one Thursday where they could only have you pick food up, and it was packed. I don't know if there was an open spot in the entire parking lot, and it was just people waiting for takeout. And that was how much, people, I mean, to me, it showed how much people truly care about Avicolli's and about supporting local, and that meant so much to me to see so many people show up and pack the entire parking lot even when they couldn't go into the restaurant. So I want to thank you all for that, and I want to thank Avicolli's for everything that they've done to make us want to go out there and support them. So I truly appreciate them. They bring you the ingredients to success every single Tuesday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time, which gives me the opportunity to give you a new topic and its ingredients to success every single week. So, with that being said, the ingredients to success for this week, the topic that I have for you is saying thank you when you wake up. Saying thank you when you wake up. So, let's call it thankfulness. Let's call it thankfulness as the topic, because part of the ingredients is what I just said. So, are you thankful in your life? Do you take the time to say thank you? To say thank you to God, to say thank you to your mom, to your dad, to your brother, your sister, your significant other, your friends, your boss, people that you work with, do you take the time to take the time? Right? Are you thankful for what you have? And do you make that a point of your day? You know, when you wake up in the morning, see, this is my thing. If I wake up in the morning and I don't say thank you to God before I do anything else, I feel guilty and I feel bad. Not because somebody drove it into my head, but because of the fact that God woke me up. So do I need to get on my cell phone right away? No. Do I need to, you know, think about this and think about that and do this and do that, turn the TV on? No. You know, it's important for me and hopefully for many people out there to say thank you when you woke up, because you didn't just wake yourself up, right? Somebody wakes you up, right? God wakes you up. Well, you know, Dan, my mom wakes me up. I'm a little kid. You know, she says, hey, honey, it's time to get up. Yeah, but who woke you up? Because mom can come and wake you up, but somebody has to say, let's go, Spirit, today. Somebody's got to wake you up. And, you know, I feel that it's so important, ingredients to success today, to speak about being thankful. Because I'm coming off of a day where I have a lot to be thankful for. And just in yesterday, in Monday, July 17th, 2023, I had a lot of things to be thankful for. First and foremost, I woke up. Along with that, so did Lily. And every morning I wake up in bed and I want to make sure that I truly appreciate and don't take for granted the fact that I have a sweet, sweet girl who's my little daughter, who's staring at me in my studio right now. And, you know, she knows when I talk about her. She's like, yes, say more. What? What'd you say? So, but to have Lily there in bed with me and to truly be my daughter, to treat me, you know, as her dad, as you know, we have that bond, we have that relationship. And I'm not here to fight with people on, you know, animals can't be, you know, pets can't be kids and yada, 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 and this, that, and the third. The reality of it all is Lily is my daughter. If you don't understand that, I genuinely don't care. And if you've taken the time to meet her, you would know how loving she is. And if you're turned off by love, that says everything about you and nothing about me or Lily. And so I'm so happy to wake up in the morning, have her as my daughter. I'm talking about just what I'm thankful for from yesterday alone. Just yesterday. I got to do my show in the morning. I get to work for myself. I get to do what I love and love what I do. I get to come into my studio that I decorate how I want to decorate it. I get to have my studio, my office, my company, my name on the door. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that everything went off without a hitch on the show yesterday. I'm thankful that I got to the golf tournament early. I'm thankful to be a part and even be invited to the golf tournament for Lemoyne College. We had the DAA, which is the Dolphin Athletic Association, 8th annual corporate partners golf tournament. And I got to go out there. I'm thankful that I got to be out there with my dad. I'm thankful I got to be out there with Mike and with Pat. I'm thankful that we did this last year and we did it again this year. I'm thankful that God helped the weather to be beautiful. I'm thankful that the air quality, as much as they said to be a little bit concerned, I couldn't smell it. My allergies are intense, and my allergies didn't bother me at all yesterday. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the allergy medication that I take that I really believe is working, and I hope it is. I'm thankful that I got to golf with my dad because I didn't know if that was ever going to happen again. My dad's had some back injuries, and I didn't really appreciate it as a kid. And then here I am, you know, an adult, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to golf with my dad ever again. So I'm looking back on the days that he woke me up on a Saturday at like 6 a.m. and I didn't want to go. And now here I am, 37 years old. And, you know, you think to yourself over these last couple of years, will I ever be able to golf with my dad again? And we've been able to golf the last couple of years together. So I love that. I love the fact that I felt like God was with me on the courses. God is with me with everything. I played with more ease than maybe I've ever played with. I had more fun. You know, I was trusted by my entire team to putt and to guide the line because we were doing captain and crew. They trusted me on every hole where I said, this is where I think the green is going. This is what I think we should do. They trusted me with that. My dad, who, when I went out golfing, I always thought that, you know, he was frustrated with me, or not frustrated with me, but I didn't know what he thought. And, or sometimes I just thought like, oh, I didn't do well. And yesterday, I'm thankful for the fact that, you know, my dad said to me, and I told him this last night, he said, you know, I wanted you to go before me every time we putted because I wanted you to show me the line. And he would say that on the course. He goes, all right, you know, show me the line. Show me the line. Show me where I need to be. And on the last hole, I literally took it and I didn't cut it enough as I wanted to cut it. And I said to my dad, I was like, just go a little bit more to the left. And he did, and we got par. And we finished under. I've never finished under in my life. We finished -1. Never done that in my life. And, you know, I appreciate, and I want to also let people know, I golfed like, 3 times in 20 some odd years. So it's not like I'm saying I've never golfed, you know, minus anything, and I've golfed, you know, 800 times. I golfed as a kid, and then there was this 20 plus year hiatus, and I've golfed 3 times in the last 2 years. But, you know, I had a ton of fun. I'm thankful for that time with my dad. I'm thankful that we got to golf together because I never knew if that was going to happen again. And I thanked Bob for that, Bob Beretta. I'm thankful for Bob. I'm thankful for the entire team at Lemoyne and everybody that put things together. I'm thankful for the incredible job that Gianna did. I'm thankful to Tuscarora. I'm thankful for the time I got to have with Bob after everybody pretty much had left. I'm thankful for my mom taking care of Lily, making sure she got her hair cut because, of course, the first availability they had was on the day where I was at a golf tournament all day. And so, you know, I'm thankful for my mom picking her up and dropping her off. I'm thankful for my mom taking care of her and bringing her over to her house so that she wasn't alone. I'm thankful for Lily getting a haircut. I'm thankful for Lily looking good. I'm thankful for her being healthy. I'm thankful for my mom looking good and feeling good and her being healthy and getting well from some things that have been bothering her. You know, I'm thankful for the drive home. I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for comedy. I'm thankful for good rest. I'm thankful that God was with me all the way, sitting right there next to me. So, and that was yesterday. So when we talk about the ingredients to success, if you're just tuning in, the topic today is being thankful. Yesterday alone, my mom, my dad, Lily, golf, Lemoyne, so many things to be thankful for. Doing what I love, loving what I do, and above all things, that God woke me up and that God was with me on the golf course. And then I had fun. As a kid, I didn't have fun golfing. You know, sometimes I did, and other times I'm like, it's hot, I'm tired, it's early, you know, and now I look at it and I'm like, this is fun. I enjoy this. I'm having a good time, and I love doing something with my dad that he cares about, and I like that I'm caring about it more, and I'm just having a good time. And so there's a lot to be said about just being thankful. And that was yesterday, folks. That was yesterday. I was thankful from sunrise to sunset. And you know what? Today, what I'm thankful for? Waking up, having Lily, my parents being alive, you know, friends shooting me text messages, seeing what's going on. I'm thankful for all my meetings I have coming up today because I'm super excited. There's one of them that I just like circled and I'm like, it's coming up. I can't wait. It's coming up. You know, I'm thankful to, you know, Lisa for taking the time that she's always taken these last couple of years. I'm thankful for Aaron Sloan and the vision that he's seen and involving Christy. I'm always thankful for Christy and Pat. And, you know, so I wanted to share that with you today because I wanted you to have an example of thankfulness, of appreciation. You know, we live in a world that, you know, and Christy said it this morning, we want to focus on the negative. You know, we want to focus on here's everything that's wrong with the world and this is everything I'm frustrated about. But in reality, there's so many great things to be happy about, and there's so many things to enjoy. You know, I think I really honestly, I want you to take some time today to be thankful. You know, thank you, God, that you woke me up. Thank you, God, that I'm in traffic, because I could be dead. I could be 6 feet under, no traffic, nothing going on. Thank you, God, that I just had somebody disrespect me and treat me awfully, because it's going to make me stronger. Thank you, God, for me being as nice as I possibly can to be towards someone, nice as I can be to that person, and that person treated me like I did something wrong. And yes, it bothered me and it got in my head, but I know that I can put my head on my pillow at night. I know I did nothing to that person. I know that I don't like the way that they're treating me, and I don't understand it, and I don't appreciate it. But it's making me value the people that love me and appreciate me more. It's making me value myself more. It's making me value my time more. You know, there's so many beautiful things that we can learn and grow from. And I'm a very logical, rational person. So, you know, if I'm nice to someone and I shake your hand and we have a great interaction and, you know, I'm kind to you. And that's the thing. It's weird for me to say we have a great interaction because those are all my interactions. Like, that's the person that I am. If I meet you for the first time, you know, you have the opportunity to, you know, treat me good or not. But I'm going to see you and hi, how you doing? And smile and shake your hand and look you right in the eye. And that's me. And I've been that way with everybody. You know, I'm kind, I'm considerate. It's not even a thought. That's why, like, when you say it, I feel like it's so annoying for me to go, I'm kind, I'm considerate, I care, because it's just who I am. And if you can't see it, I mean, you really got to, I don't know, in your brain be pretending that it doesn't exist because it's there. And, you know, I struggle when people treat me like I did something wrong. We have a great interaction, everything's good, and then the next time I see them, they're not kind to me, and I'm always like, well, what happened in between? And what you have to realize in life, and in being thankful, going back to this topic, is God shows you who people are. And when people say, well, Dan, no, people show you who they are. In my life, there's a lot of instances where things had to happen perfectly for me to accidentally hear something or see something. And I'd say that has a lot of God to do with it. None of us are perfect. But it takes a very uniquely strange individual to be mean to a nice person, especially when there's nothing to be, you know, have issues about. And I'm the type of person where if there's an issue, let's fix it. Let's solve it. That's how I am in relationships. I pissed off a lot of my ex-girlfriends because there'll be a problem and I'll want to work it out and they just want to sweep it under the rug, and I can't do that because I think about it. You know, to me, I don't want to pretend like something doesn't exist because it only gets bigger. You know, I always liken pretending problems don't exist to a fire. If you pretend like there's not a fire in your kitchen, now the fire has moved to your living room. You pretend like there's not a fire in your kitchen and living room, now that fire in your kitchen and living room is now going up your stairs. Now it's in one of your bedrooms. Now there's a fire in your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom, and now your other bedroom. And before you know it, it's on the roof and the house burns down. Because when you pretend like there's no fire, it's only a matter of time before it burns everything down. And so there's that side of it where I am the person that wants to work out a problem. And there's the other side of it where there's problems that don't exist, but somebody treats you differently than the last time that they saw you. And that level of disrespect, you know, I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I always, you know, try to do everything I can, especially in the workplace. You know, I'm like, oh, they had a busy day. They had this. They're stressed out. Maybe something happened with their family. If you can get me to not want to talk to you, it means you've done a tremendously diligent job of being a jerk on a consistent basis, because there's nothing inside of me that enjoys saying, you know what, I'm not going to talk to that person. But you have to have self-worth, and I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I try to figure it out, and I try to see where I went wrong, and I try to discover things and think of things. But we've all gone through, and you know what? And I've gone through you know what I mean? Like my blessings to that adversity has been so tiny, right? You know, the people that are crappy versus the people that are really awesome. And I want to thank God for that. That's not me saying, hey, I want more hell. It means, you know, thank you for, you know, that it's not the other way around, that it's not like, oh my gosh, there's a million mean people and there's 3 nice people. But the reality of it all is, whether it's a million mean or a million nice, whatever the ratio is, it's who you are. Are you thankful? Are you kind? Are you compassionate? Do you value people's time? Because that is incredibly important, you know, and how you treat other people is incredibly important. And I feel like we really need to be cognizant of that. I mean, I can't change how people treat me or how they treat you. I can't change that. You can't change that. You know, you can be the best you can be, which I would think would make someone want to be around you. But, you know, there's constantly going to be things that happen in life that don't make any sense. And the only thing that you can be is kind. And to me, being thankful is realizing in those moments where somebody treats you poorly and you can't figure out why, or you've tried to fix it and they don't seem to want to fix it, the only thing that you can do in those instances is to just focus on what you are thankful for. You know, obviously that connection isn't there, or that job didn't happen, or whatever it may be, but you have to focus on it. Like when a road is closed, here's an example. Treat people like roads for this analogy. When a road is closed, you can't continue to drive on it because it's closed. You could get in trouble. You could get pulled over. You could, you know, fall into a ditch. You could go off a cliff. If the road is closed, the road is closed. So you can't keep trying to go down that road. If the road is closed, you have to find another road to get to where you want to go. And that's what we have to realize with people, is some people, like roads, that relationship is closed. You can't go down it. It's not there anymore. Or it's there, but it's not admitting you. So you can sit there with your car and rev your engine, but you can't go down that road, and you got to get to where you need to get to. See, I don't focus on a road closing. When I'm driving, and this happened to me really recently, I said, okay, that road's closed. It didn't show up on my GPS, but I got to figure out how to get around it. And I didn't even really think. I just did it. Like, I didn't even have a thought in my head of go to this street and go to that street. I was just like, this is where I'm going to go. This is what I'm going to do. And I'll figure it out. And I figured it out because I trusted myself and I focused on the solution and not the problem. I said, the problem is that road is closed. The solution is I need to find another road to get to where I'm going because I can't be late for this meeting. And I figured it out. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's never easy when people don't like you or they're mean to you, and especially when you don't know why. But if I could promise you anything, from when I was a kid in a sandbox to being 37 years old, there's people when I was a child and there's people now that like you one minute, don't like you the next, and there's no reason for it. There was 2 girls that I went to school with. They hated each other, would fight with each other. 3 days later, they're best friends. 2 weeks later, they're kicking each other. 2 days later, they're going to each other's birthday parties. It didn't make any sense. It still makes no sense. But not everything in life makes sense. You can control being a good person, being kind, saying you're sorry where you're wrong, and just being the best that you can be at all times. That's all you can do. And, you know, when there's so many blessings in your life, and there's a couple issues or things you don't get, why spit on God and say, I'm not going to focus on this mountain of blessings. I'm going to focus on this tiny little molehill of adversity. Adversity comes, but if you are a good person, that'll come back to you. If you treat people with respect, that'll come back to you. If you make a mistake and apologize, that'll, you know, things will work out. It'll come back. You know, I don't hold grudges. I don't hate on people. I don't wish bad on anybody. And even if you don't like me and you don't want the best for me, I still want the best for you and your loved ones. So I think being thankful, the ingredients to success for that is waking up, going to bed, and I can't take credit for this, but going to bed and forgiving everybody that's hurt you, which I have to do a better job of. God, please forgive me for that. Forgiving everybody that hurt you, waking up with a clean slate, thanking God, being happy that you just woke up, and then focusing on when something bad happens or something confusing happens or you don't understand something or somebody treats you poorly and you don't believe you did anything to push this person into a negative, in that moment where you're like, why do they, and you're driving yourself nuts, instead, what are you thankful for? Instead of going, I called this person up, we used to talk all the time, now I call them, they never answer their phone, what the heck, I didn't do anything. Instead of focusing on that and focus, turn the focus and say, what am I thankful for? Yeah, this person won't answer their phone, but I could call any one of these people and they answer me and talk with me and all that stuff. When we have guilt inside of us and we know we did something wrong, that's going to come out and you're going to want to fix it. When you don't have guilt inside of you and you didn't do anything wrong, then, that leads to confusion. But some relationships just die. I mean, think about it in dating. There are people that, dating in today's day and age, I was just talking to somebody about this. They're like, I talk to these girls and then they ghost me. We have great conversations and then they disappear forever. And you could sit there and say, why this, why that? But it's a dead end road. You can't continue to drive down it or you're going to pop a tire, fall into a ditch, drive off a cliff. It's not good for you. So, we do the best we can. Some of us work with people that, they're nice to us and then all of a sudden they're not. I had people that I thought I was on great standing with and the most words we said to each other was, hi, how you doing? I mean, we never got in a fight. We never hung out. I never dated one of their ex-girlfriends. I mean, there was no reason to, and then you find out like, oh, this person doesn't like you. They have a problem with you. They say really mean things about you. And you're like, I barely even know that person. So, but I think we focus so much in life is wanting to have people like a pile. We want to just keep adding people that like love us and appreciate us, because if they love us and appreciate us, then we know we're doing something right. That's an issue. Because Jesus Christ himself walked this earth and had many people stone him, spit on him, swear at him, yell at him, call him names, put a crown of thorns on his head, make him carry a cross, nail him to the cross, leave him out in the sun to die, whipped him, beat him, disrespected his name and his family, scared the apostles and the disciples that followed him, scared them into going into places and locking their doors thinking they were next. They were going to be the next ones to be killed. And what did Jesus do to anybody? If a perfect being can walk this earth and be crucified, then it stands to reason that you or I could do nothing wrong and have somebody just not give us a phone call back. It's a lot better than being crucified. I'll tell you that. We act like it's the end of the world, but we want to stockpile people because the more people that like us, the more we can like ourselves, and that's not right, and it's not healthy. You shouldn't determine your love for yourself based on how other people feel about you, and you shouldn't determine your love for yourself based on the quantity of how many people enjoy your company. You need to love yourself from the inside out. And because there's going to be things that happen, you're going to do the right thing, and you're going to, I remember there was a business I was working with, and I followed the rules and got yelled at 5 times for following the rules. I got literally disrespectfully spoken to because I did the right thing. And I was very confused by that because there's all these people breaking rules and I never saw any of them get punished. And then here's me trying to follow the rules. And I could have done what the other people did and just did it behind this business's back and did whatever I wanted to do. But I was like, no, let me cover my bases and make sure I'm respectful. And so I already had permission by another business to do this thing, and I reach out to this business and say, hey, by the way, this is what I'm going to be doing, but I want to make sure it was okay. And I got yelled at. And then here's another business that breaks the rules all the time and nothing happens to them. So I could sit here and say, why does this business break the rules, not get in trouble? Why do I follow the rules and get in trouble? Is it opposite day? But when push comes to shove, the reality of it all is some things in life are not going to make sense. That's why you have to know who you are. You have to know where you come from. And if you believe in God, if you believe in our Creator, if you believe in God and you believe in God's compass and God's love, that's how you truly love yourself. You know, it's a lot harder in this world to love yourself without God, because if you want to pretend like there is no God, then what is there? You know, what is the check and balance? Then you get caught up in the world. You know, they say the secular world is where you can get yourself in trouble if you mix spirit with secular. We live in this world, but we're not of this world. And how we view ourselves is very important. Because if you view yourself by the world liking you and treating you good and being kind to you and everybody being nice and nobody ever having a problem with you or being illogical or irrational, I mean, every single good person on this planet has a relationship, either in business, romantically, or a friendship or family, that died with no reason. Nothing that they did. It just goes away. You know, and that is reality. Every one of us has had a relationship, think about it, where something has ended and you like bang your head against the wall and you can't figure out what you did. You know, people say, well, if you want to know what you did, just ask. But if someone illogically cuts you out of their life, if they irrationally go from they're fine with you to they're not fine with you, and you didn't do anything in between that deliberately to hurt that person, understand that when you ask them that question, you're either going to get an answer that's off the wall that you're not going to understand, or they're going to tell you everything's fine, but it's not. And what I've learned about people is if they can treat you crappy, they'll do it again. And people can change. They can. I just believe that when people are irrational and illogical and they disrespect the relationships that they have, even if they apologize and tell you nothing's wrong, the reality is reality. You know, we all have a friend that, I mean, I remember one of my friends I had in high school. I got really close with him. We became close friends, and he felt like a brother to me. And I remember he stood in my doorway, and I said, hey, man, thanks for everything. I said, you know, I love you. I love you like a brother, and I want you to know that. Like, not in a weird way. I just really appreciate you like family. He looked at me. I felt weird about it. I shut the door. We never spoke again. Like, he never came over to the house again. We weren't friends anymore. And the last thing I said to him was, I consider you like family and I love you like family. And that pushed him away. So I could sit here and say, okay, well, then I can't love anybody and I shouldn't get close to my friends. But that doesn't make any sense. Because what pushed him away was kindness, compassion, and love. And that shouldn't push people away, but some people it does. Some people are afraid of that. You know, you can't put your faith in people thinking that people are always going to come through for you. But you can put your faith in God and knowing that God has a perfect record of not letting us down. We might not always get what we want. We might have things happen that don't make sense, but there's always something to be grateful for. And life is not easy. And being a person like me that fosters relationships and builds bridges and doesn't burn them, when I come back to a bridge that I built and the other person has burned it to the ground, and I keep building it back, but I'm building it by myself. You have to understand sometimes bridges were meant to be burned, and some people just don't appreciate everybody, and that's how it is. You can't make somebody change. It's a hard thing to do. And somebody like me who treats everyone the same, you know, it doesn't make sense. Because if you treat everybody with compassion and care and concern and want them to be well and respectful, and you're happy and you're positive and you tell the truth, it would make sense that everybody would be nice. But then why are there criminals? Why are there people that kill innocent people? Why have there been so many mass shootings? You know, do those families have to sit there and go, do they hate my daughter? No, that person didn't even know your daughter. Well, then why did they shoot her? Doesn't make sense. No, because evil and negativity and hate doesn't make sense. And that could be on a small scale of someone doesn't text you back that used to talk to you all the time, to a large scale of a massive crime. Not everybody cares about whether you're good or not. That's inconsequential. Some people just don't. I remember my mom went into a store one day. My mom was working, and she felt this woman looking at her, and she went up to her and said, do you have a problem with me? Like, did we meet? I'm just getting like a weird vibe from you. And the lady goes, I've never seen you before in my life, but as soon as you walked through the door, I looked at you and I said, I don't like her. I don't know why I don't like you. There's nothing you can say to make me change how I feel. I just don't like you. Think about how weird it would be to hear that. My mom walks in, sees a stranger. The woman sees her face and goes, I don't like her. I don't like her at all. My mom hadn't even spoken a word. She didn't even know if my mom spoke English. And this woman was like, I don't like her. And then when my mom confronted her about it, she's like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't like you. Yeah, I'm not going to like you. And that's such a weird thing to say to somebody, but it happens. So be thankful for the blessings that you have. Focus on the goodness that's in your life, and find joy in the fact that you have many more blessings than you don't. If you just took the time to really realize them, appreciate them, and spend more time talking about that than the things that are frustrating you and driving you nuts. Because there is one truth to life, that when it comes to problems, there's a lot of truths, but this is definitely true. Talking about the problem over and over again doesn't solve it. The ingredients to success, proudly presented by Avicolli's, 7839 Oswego Road, right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road, down the street from Liverpool High School. And this is where we have our monthly Liverpool Warriors exclusive sit-down extension of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, on site on location at Avicolli's. We'll see you there all throughout the year, and I hope you'll go there for lunch today and get some fantastic food and fill your belly up right. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is live every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. All of these links are live around the world and available on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage. So you can go there in the morning, click on whichever one you want, sit there with your coffee, your tea, whatever you're sipping on, and enjoy the broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podbean, Podvine, Podchaser, Boomplay, and so on and so forth, all carry Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You can get our show on all of your favorite podcasting platforms by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. We appreciate everybody that has. Big thanks to our incredible partners, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, 317 at Montgomery Street. The name of the restaurant is the name of the location, as well as GG Cards and Breaks, Mon Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, PB&J's Lunchbox, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Chick-fil-A Watertown, Great Lakes Honda City, Avicolli's, Mother's Cupboard, and so on and so forth, including our fantastic exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with your Lemoyne College Dolphins. It's Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Make sure you check out the Dolphins during Dolphin Time like you will tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we're joined by the Dolphins first and third Wednesday of each month with AD and DT featuring Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora. Every second and fourth Wednesday, the Dolphin Dive, diving into the stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, alumni, future Dolphins. Check them all out in our archives, AD and DT and the Dolphin Dive, available to you on the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com and by subscribing to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you're with us here on Wake Up Call to be the first to see and hear from your Dolphins. For more information, go to LeMoyneDolphins.com, and as always, Fins Up. Love that music. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. The Bobcats come to you every single month on Wake Up Call with the Bobcat Buzz, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year. We have two awesome Bobcat Buzz specials. Nothing we've ever done before in 19 plus years of broadcasting. We're going to make history with the Bobcats, which we've already done. We're going to do it again this coming week of July 24th. Make sure you stay tuned to Wake Up Call for two specials coming from the campus on James Street in Syracuse for Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse. The Bobcats are on our BSC Syracuse tab on wakeupcalldt.com by subscribing to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. You can also get all our Bobcat content. And, of course, for more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com. Go Bobcats. Alfred University and the Saxons are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Alfred University comes to you on Mondays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Every single Monday, we have our Alfred University time slot on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. First and third Monday of each month, you get the presidential perspective with Mark Zupan, the president of Alfred University. Every second and fourth Monday, you get the Saxon Spotlight, spotlighting student athletes, coaches, and administration all across Alfred University's many sports programs and all the wonderful things that they have to offer and stories to tell connected with amazing people. We can't wait for you to hear what's coming up next with Alfred University, and we definitely implore you to check out our inaugural episode of The Presidential Perspective with Mark Zupan by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. You can also go to the Alfred U tab on wakeupcalldt.com for an ever-growing library of all of our content with Alfred University, and go to gosaxons.com for more information. As always, go Saxons. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank you for being a part of the show. Inside of MonPazPopcorn.com is what's poppin'. Big thanks to Christy's Corner for Christy Salters Martin, the International Boxing Hall of Famer, as well as a thriver, not a survivor, a thriver from domestic violence and domestic abuse, thriving in her life post everything that happened to her, doing God's will, and being a tremendous person and paying it forward. So thank you, Christy, for that. Pat Orr, boxing photographer and owner of PB&J's Lunchbox. Head there for lunch today and get some Bang Bang Shrimp Tacos. Leave some for me. And a big time thanks to our special guest today that we had on the broadcast, who I cannot thank enough. Aaron Sloan joining us of the the Engine Room. I keep wanting to say Empire, and that's because it's down at the fair. So big time thanks to Aaron Sloan for joining us today of the Engine Room Boxing Gym, as well as the Engine Room Virtual Reality in connection with Golden Gloves VR, which is the game that Christy Salters Martin is involved with, as well as Mickey Ward. Big time thanks to our continuation of our American Athletic Conference, a New Era series, as we got to spotlight and feature the UTSA Roadrunners today. University of Texas San Antonio, leader of their athletic department, the VP for Intercollegiate Athletics, Lisa Campos, joining me today to help spotlight UTSA in our New Era series with with the American Athletic Conference. So I want to thank Lisa for that. And a big time thanks for Avicolli's with the ingredients to success. And I implore you to go there for lunch and dinner today. A lot of great places to go to and appreciate them so very much. Thank you to the wonderful partners we have in this community that make my life so much more fruitful because of your amazing partnership, your friendship, and the hard work and all the wonderful things you do. I've met so many great people by chasing my dreams, and I hope that you will do that as well. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. As always, God bless, no stress, do your best. We'll talk tomorrow morning.